President Obama leaves office 1 week from today for his final network TV interview as commander-in-chief. He sat down with 60 Minutes correspondent Steve Kroft. They talked about the incoming administration and why he is not underestimating his successor.
You would have to admit that this is one of the strangest transitions in history.
It's unusual. I'll agree with that.
Well,
I suspect the president-elect would agree with that. Look, he's an unconventional candidate. I don't think there's anybody who's run a campaign like his successfully in modern history, not that I can think of. And as a consequence, because he didn't have the supports of many of the establishment in his own party, because he ran sort of a improvisational campaign.
can you run an improvisational presidency?
I don't think so. And so now he's in the process of building up an organization. And we'll have to see how that works. And it'll be a test, I think, for him and the people that he's designated to be able to execute on his vision.
Look, I think that the country deeply appreciates the fact that you have not spoken clearly, I think, probably what's on your mind in relation to the president-elect. But
well, the people have spoken.
And I don't want to try, and I don't want
look,
people to think that we're condemning Donald Trump. But as you said earlier, it's unusual. He seems to have spent a good deal of his time sending out tweets that that the United States must strengthen and expand its nuclear ability, that Meryl Streep is an overrated Hillary flunky. You're watching this like everybody else. I mean, what's going on?
You know, you're going to have to talk to him. But here's what I think. First of all, I think everybody has to acknowledge, don't underestimate the guy, because he's going to be 45th president of the United States. The one thing I've said to him directly, and I would advise my Republican friends in Congress and supporters around the country, is just make sure that as we go forward, certain norms, certain institutional traditions don't get eroded, because there's a reason they're in place.
Well, Steve Kroft is with us now. Steve, good morning. Congratulations. There's
Morning,
a lot
Charlie, Gail, Nora.
You spent how long with him in this occasion?
Probably about an hour and a half.
How has he changed? We'll talk about Trump and the rest of the stuff later. You've seen him for a long time.
14 times you've interviewed him.
Yeah. I think that he says that he hasn't really changed, and I think that he takes pride in the fact that the same person that's leaving the office is the same person that came in, at least in terms of his beliefs. Obviously, he's been tested, and I think he's got some battle scars.
And he says he does the job better in the last 2 years than he did it previously.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's understandable. I understand.
Exactly.
What do we know about his conversations with the president-elect?
Almost nothing. He has been very tight-mouthed about it, and I've really heard no leaks. I think that they've decided to keep it absolutely quiet, except to talk about general areas.
That's
But he told you
no
he's.
leaks. But that's extraordinary. You have no leaks considering the sources that you have, Steve Kroft.
Right.
But I think it's interesting that the thing was so acrimonious, the campaign.
Right.
Is it forgive and forget, or has he set a tone, the president, 2 days after, saying, listen, he's now the leader and we want him to succeed because we want the country to succeed?
I think given this last election, I think he believes that it's really important to be respectful. And somebody had made this point to me. This is one thing I had heard, that they did talk a lot about the election in the meeting, and that Obama was interested in it because, he won the election. And I think for Obama, it's probably not a small thing.
What he said about Trump is true about him. You don't get to be president without knowing something.
Right. And you get, and it is a very small club, and I think he's respecting the rules of that club. And I think also he has, as many people have speculated, has an interest in keeping a good relationship with Donald Trump so that President Trump can pick up the phone and call him if he needs advice.
As Bush 43 did with him.
Yes.
What does he regret?
I don't think he regrets. I think that he said that he's made some miscalculations. I think he said he underestimated the divisions in the country and the deep political partisanship that he was going to run into. He said he didn't think it was. He didn't quite say that he was a little naive, but it turned out to be more than he expected, and I think he was very disappointed in it, but hard to break through.
Wait,
You mentioned Mitch McConnell a couple of times.
I thought I cut you off. Sorry.
Did President Obama show you something in the Oval Office?
He showed me the original. He showed me some things he's got on the wall, a lot of personal stuff, pictures, and there's an original program from the March on Washington. Just things like that, things that people had sent him and given to him, all of which is going with him to his house in Colorama. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Colorama, yes, Colorama.
Where's he going on 20th when that helicopter takes off? Where are they going?
He's not going to say. The only thing he said was, not going to Chicago. Okay. So my guess is it's warm weather.
Yeah,
That would
I've
be
heard he
my
wants to
guess,
go
too.
someplace warm for a while.
I guess too.
Yeah.
And sleep. He's not setting an alarm.
Oh, is that what he tell you that?
He said he's not setting an alarm on the 21st, no matter where he wakes up.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Well, he's deserved that.
Yes.
Thanks, Steve. Great. President Obama also discussed the Republican leadership in Congress and President-elect Trump's potential conflicts of interest. He also reflects on the biggest milestones and struggles of his administration. Watch it all on 60 Minutes Sunday at 7, 6 Central, right here on CBS.